Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley here for Concord and Ninth. Thanks for joining me today. Cue all the fanfare because it's time to introduce you to the Window Shop Pop-Up Base Dies. Now, if you remember the OG Pop-Up Shop, it was designed for a vertical A2 size card. Now, this has the same idea. There are some different components, but it is designed for a horizontal A2 size card. So if you're a landscape type person, this one is for you. Now, it includes everything you need to make an adorable window shop, and it's also compatible with the original Pop-Up Shop dies, as well as the Bake Shop dies and the Book Shop dies. So let's look at everything that this cuts out when you use the dies. You have the base piece as well as this awning piece. And then there are several accessories that you can use. Now, feel free, as I mentioned before, to mix and match this with your OG Pop-Up Shop die set. I think you're gonna have a great time kind of mixing and matching all these things. But the thing that's really fabulous is there are so many adorable things that if you don't have the original Pop-Up Shop set, you have plenty of accessories here to make an adorable window shop. So you have some greenery as well as a couple of different plant containers here. You have a more modern one and more of an urn style one. And then you have all the architectural details that you can add to the sides of your pop-up shop or the little window box beneath the window. I love that Concord and Ninth has thought of all the little details that really go into making these cards special. This die set includes the bistro light set as well as the die to cut all those little light bulbs, and then a fun little shop die here. You can use the letters individually or you can pop them out and use them as a negative piece. And I love the window on the door for this set. Now let me show you how this goes together because it's a little different than the original Pop-Up Shop. So I have a landscape style A2 size card here. It measures 4¼ by 5½ inches. I have the main or the base piece for this window shop, as well as the awning piece. And I also have a piece of acetate here. Now I like to put the acetate behind the windows because it gives my pop-up shop a little bit of stability. So I'm going to start by flipping this base piece over to the back side, and I'm going to add some adhesive above and below the window area. And I'm using this adhesive to adhere my acetate onto the back side of this base piece. So I'm just gonna place that there. I've cut that down to where it fits right over the window piece nicely. And you'll notice that on each of these die cuts, all of the score lines are already created for you. So I like to get them started by folding them forward, and then I'm going to fold them towards the back of this base piece. And I'm going to do that on both the top and the bottom of this base piece. Now, once I have the folds started, I like to go in with a bone folder and really reinforce all of those folds. It makes them nice and crisp, and it helps them to kind of move better when you get them on the card base. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the awning piece, and you'll notice on the awning piece, there are two kind of ends to this piece. There's one with a larger tab and there's one with a smaller tab. I'm going to start by folding them both towards the back of this, but you'll see when I assemble this card that one of them will actually fold in the opposite direction, and I'll show you that as we go along. So now that I have all of my score lines reinforced on all of my pieces, both the base piece and the awning piece, I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to the top and bottom tabs of this window shop base piece. Now keep in mind, you can rotate this and have your windows on the left-hand side. I'm going to have them on the right-hand side today, but you can do it however you want. And on that larger tab on the awning, I'm going to place some adhesive on the back side of that. Now that I have all of my adhesive placed, I'm going to start adding this to my card base. And I'm going to start with the bottom of this window shop base piece, and I'm going to remove the backer from the adhesive. Now I'm folding up just that very bottom tab where I have the adhesive. See, I'm folding that up, and I'm going to line up that score line along the bottom edge of my A2 size card. So I have just that small flap folded up. I'm kind of holding it with my fingers, and then I'm aligning the score line that is on the bottom when I fold that tab up with the bottom of my A2 size card and pressing that down. So this is what that looks like when it's all adhered. You can see that score line is in line with the bottom of my card. Now I'll remove the backer from the adhesive on the top tab, and this time I'm going to fold both of those tabs in, and I'm going to flatten out that lower piece. So see how I flattened out the lower piece? I folded both tabs in, and then I'm going to press that onto my card base. And that's going to give me the perfect alignment to have this pop up and still fold down flat so I can place it in an envelope when this is all said and done. And that's really the genius of these pop-up shop dies, is because they do fold flat to fit in an envelope. Now it's time to finish our card off by adding this awning piece. And so you can see I've removed the backer from the adhesive on that larger tab that's on the top. And I'm going to align the top part of this die cut with the top of my A2 size card. And I'm just going to place that down. So once again, the larger tab is on the top of this awning. Then I'm going to fold it back, like I mentioned before, in the opposite direction, and that creates the little awning on top of my shop. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can adhere this awning, but this is the most basic way, and I love that this folds flat as well in order to fit inside of an envelope. So let's have a look at some cards that I created using this window shop base die set. So this card here only uses dies from this window shop base set. You can see I have it all assembled with the awning and the shop there. And this all folds flat to fit inside of an envelope. And then when the recipient removes it from the envelope, it all pops up. I have this adorable yellow bike, a little planter box in front of my window. I have the bistro lights hanging from the awning. And then I have that adorable open sign, which is also included in the die set. Now I've mixed and matched the window shop pop-up base dies with the new fashion shop stamps and dies to create this adorable boutique. And finally, I've also mixed and matched those base dies with the new flower shop stamps and dies. These are both add-ons, and they are great ways to further customize this window shop pop-up base die set. I have so much fun when I play with these die sets because I love to experiment with the different colors and patterns and elements that you can add to these window shops to make them completely customized. So there's an up close and personal look at the window shop pop-up base die set. I think you're gonna have a great time creating with these, mixing and matching them with other dies and stamp sets, and I cannot wait to see what you create.